My name is Victor Murei. I'm 28 years old. Basically, I grew up here in Trans Nzoia. I've studied also in Trans Nzoia, but my further studies shifted to Nairobi. So my background is in information technology. I did IT. The first time I had interest about coffee, it was before graduating in 2019. That's the first time I took interest in coffee. At that time, we sold around 10 bags of parchment, and from that 10 bags we got around 300,000. So that was around, back then, like 30,000 per bag, of which we at that time, if compared with maize, it was way much higher than maize. So that's when I took interest in coffee. I decided to go fully into coffee. I first interacted with the new KPCU back in 2022 through the subsidy program. So we, as coffee farmers, we really benefited a lot from the subsidy of fertilizers, also to do the foliars. It really helped us as coffee farmers to lower cost of production. That is the main thing as coffee farmers we are targeting, because eventually it's a business. The other thing we benefit from KPCU is the cherry fund. The coffee cherry funds has really helped us a lot as farmers, because during that time where from harvesting to of course auction, coffee farmers really need financial services in terms of picking, labor, cost of production. So that's when the cherry fund comes in. It helps us with also in picking and also in doing the production processing. The milling and marketing journey with KPCR has been really amazing. For me, on a personal level, I say it's not opaque, because I remember back in the years where we didn't know where coffee was milled. We were not invited to how coffee was graded, how they were doing the cupping analysis. But right now it's way much better. We are invited to watch the grading, the milling, and also cupping analysis. At Barrick's Coffee, we run a nursery, and the varieties we have at the nursery are SL28, SL34, K7, Ruiru 11, and Batian. For us, we are doing a bit of experimental with Geisha coffee. We want to try like half an acre of Geisha coffee. So we've propagated Geisha coffee, about maybe 1,000 seedlings or so. So these, as Barrick's Coffee, one of our major aims is to go deeper and deeper into the specialty coffee market. So we want to incorporate Geisha coffee into our farm because of the quality and also the flavors, the unique flavors Geisha have. So in coffee farming, we have different varieties, but on a personal level, what I've experienced, SL and Ruiru 11 of course performs better at high altitude, and also in terms of resistance to pests and also diseases. That means as a farmer it reduces your cost by 30%, but for the older varieties like SL28 and 34 K7, they are not immune to coffee leaf rust and CBD. But if you tend to get more and more into specialty coffee, maybe you can incorporate some few SLs and also some few K7s and also 34 into your farm, because it has a really good cup quality. So it depends on what you target. Specialty coffee is the toppest quality of coffee. In other words, it's the most sorted coffee. So because your coffee, if it starts to be classified under specialty coffee, it has to have a grading score of 80% and above. So it has to be really good in terms of the aroma, the body, the flavors, and also the acidity. At Barrick's, we have incorporated a greenhouse, but in non-words, it's a solar dryer. So one of the benefits of solar dryers is it reduces the cost of labor, and then the other thing is it reduces the drying period time. So if you're doing it like for example like 6 days on the bare side, you can do it maybe half on the solar dryer. So in terms of labor, it will reduce, because you definitely not need more people covering during rainy season. So one of the ways we improve our coffee quality and also our coffee to become drought resistant is by introducing biochar into our coffee. So biochar is basically carbon. You take, of course, you have biomass, all these biomass like dead wood, twigs, branches. So what you do, you burn it in a less deprived oxygen place. Like you can either use a kontiki, the metal one, or you can just burn it in a pit, the way we've done it. So basically you burn those twigs and also the stems and whatever, and then after burning, you quench it with water, because we don't want it to turn into ash. So after that, of course, you crush it into smaller particles, because surface area is important in terms of introducing those microbes in the biochar. And then after we crush it, we mix it with the compost, either coffee pulp, to activate the biochar. So after that, of course, we mix it with the topsoil from our coffee hulls, and then we use it for planting. So at the long run, your coffee will be more tolerant to dry spell, and then the other benefit is your coffee will be more healthier, because the biochar helps in capturing the nutrients in the soil. Yeah, and it can be there for over 100 years. Concerning cup quality, of course, various coffee has different cupping, okay, the profiles, of which SL tends to be the most top of them all. Of course, we have Geisha, that the one introducing it will be much more better than SL. Yeah, so SL tends to have a higher cup quality. You have SL28, SL34, going towards K7, and also Batian and Ruiru. I can't complain. All coffees are good, but also depends on how you process it, because processing is very key in determining cup quality. So there's a way nowadays you can fine-tune your coffee to be really good in terms of cup quality by processing it. The way we've done like anaerobics, we've done honey coffee. Yeah, at our farm we've incorporated terraces, because our land is on a slopey. So the importance of that is the terraces captures water, and also you're avoiding soil erosion. Stress is really bad for coffee, but stress is essential for coffee. And also coffee basically are like human beings, because if you want to flower, for every coffee plant to flower, you must undergo stress. It looks more of it's wilting, but it's not wilting. Yeah, okay, the leaves are still green, but yeah, it looks deprived of water. So the stress is really essential. Those long periods without sunlight, with sunlight, also long periods without water, gives your coffee maximum stress, so that when the rains comes, those coffee flowers. Yeah. If you eventually calculate the cost of production in maize, it's way higher than what you're getting, because there's of course stealing every year. There's a fertilizer, also there's the post-harvest loss. It's a lot compared to coffee. Yeah, but coffee you just need it to establish once and you're done. Yeah. So at Barry's we've incorporated a clonal garden. So basically clonal garden, so we get Zions, Ruiru 11 Zions. So at the nursery level, it's either we propagate coffee through the seed or through the Zion. So at the challenge we have as private coffee nurseries is the seeds are limited, especially Ruiru 11 seedlings, since they're in demand. So one of the ways we cope with that is by introducing the clonal garden, where we now rear our own Ruiru 11 seedlings through the Zions. So normally what we do at the clonal garden, it's a purely Ruiru 11 coffee plant. So at 1 year we cut all the primary branches, and then we bend it in such a way, in a curved way, and then we peg it down. So kuna Zions zitatoka from the stems, hizo vingi. So that's what we use as now the Zions for propagating. So we take it to the propagator after harvesting. It has to be very early in the morning. Yeah. So we take it to the propagator, and then we propagate it using red soil, because red soil has no humus. So because red soil has no humus and infection, the Zions cannot rot. They won't. Yeah. So at Barry's, right after harvesting of our coffee cherries, red ripe coffee cherries. Of course, we pulp, and that's the wash process, the common one wash process, where you pulp it and then you ferment it, not more than 16 hours, because it's really essential. And then after fermenting, we wash it, we soak it in clean water. That's to improve the quality, and also that helps in the time you're roasting. It helps in your silver skin itoke rahisi. Yeah, when you're soaking in water. So after that, now we dry it at the drying tables to a moisture content of about 11 to between 10.5 to 11%. And then after that, we do the hulling. We have the hulling where we hull our coffee, and then the coffee husk, we use it for also biochar. And then the green beans now is where we roast it. But after roasting, of course, we do the grading where we have AA, AB, and PB. And also we have grade C, but at Barry's we are concentrating on the premium grades, because we say at Barry's Coffee you should drink the quality you deserve. Yeah, so we're focusing more on the quality grades. So because essentially you have to give your client the best quality of coffee for him to become a returning customer. So after that, we do the roasting, where we have different roasts. We have the light roast, we have the medium roast, we have the medium to dark, and also the dark roast. So depending on what you want, you can either order dark roast, light roast. So depending on what you want. Yeah. Our market is both local and international, with the biggest share being the international market. For me, I'll say coffee farming has really been amazing, and I'll encourage other youths actually to join coffee farming, because coffee farming is one of the easiest and also one of the most fun things you can do, because now that the demand is more, actually the demand is way more than what we produce. You can tap into that market. We have, of course, we have different value chains like the nurseries, and also we have different value chains like also roasting and also doing these cupping analysis. You can tap into those markets and yeah, really get something out of it. For me, on a personal level, I can say Trans Nzoia youths are really benefiting from KPCU, from, of course, the Cherry Fund. It's essential for us, and also trainings. We normally have trainings in cooperation with CRI on also pruning, nutrition management, in collaboration with you guys. So that's really helpful to us, and we say thank you. At Barry's also tumekubali kahawa ni $1.